Yo. Welcome into the ChrisBeCappinn Show. Today is October the 22nd. There are 12 games, I think there is, in the NBA for today. So we'll do about half of them. Like I told you guys yesterday, I'm not going to go through every single game on the show. It's going to take too long, especially if I'm trying to go through all the comments as well. But if I got, deep burning thoughts, I'll definitely make sure I'm picking out those games. And it'll probably be like that throughout the entire season, honestly. Like I'm not going through every single game, especially on these super big slates. So hit the like button for me if you join, if you can. Definitely helps out the show, helps out the algorithm. And let's jump into it for today, man. Let's get right into it. It's a lot of games going on for today. Appreciate you all for tapping in. All right, let's jump into it. So first up, we'll start with JaXon. And I'm not doing a recap. I didn't send out anything official yesterday. Plays did pretty well though. If you the ones that we talked about yesterday. So getting to JaXon AI Sports Betting Tool, links in the description if you guys want to check it out. So we have my prompt for today was what are the three top player props in the NBA for tonight? Provide detailed analysis is what I asked. So JaXon says that it likes John Collins of the newly acquired Los Angeles Clippers. Him over his 18.5 points, rebounds, and assists. He is playing against his old team. It says this pick is based on one of the most consistent recent performance trends available on the board tonight. Collins is playing against the Clippers, playing for the Clippers against the Jazz. Has been absolutely crushing this line. So this goes back to his old line, and we'll see. I think this is a really good look. Talks about a lot of his old, his recent performance and production from last season, and I think that Ty Lue is going to use him a lot this season as well. That's just my thought process. It also says while the research doesn't provide specific news on Collins' role, the statistical output speaks volumes about his usage and effectiveness. A player maintaining a 100% hit rate over his last 20 games, nearly averaging 30, suggests a stable and high volume role in the Clippers offense. This line of 18.5 appears significantly undervalued given this consistent output, making it a high confidence play. The next play is on Jose Alvarado of the New Orleans Pelicans, over his 6.5 points as well. It says he has seen a significant spike in scoring recently, so that makes this a really good matchup against the Memphis Grizzlies tonight. We shall see how many minutes he gets. It says his recent scoring output is far exceeding his season average, suggesting an increase in confidence or usage. He has a 100% hit rate going back to last season over the last 5 games, but the rosters have turned over a little bit. The last play is Quentin Grimes over his 21.5 points, rebounds, and assists. So 76ers will be playing against Boston tonight in Boston. It says it's another player whose recent production has soared past the current prop line. We know what Quentin Grimes was doing. If you remember back to last season, he was absolutely killing last season. So take with that information, do what you want. His last 20 games were overwhelmingly positive, averaging well over 30 points, rebounds, and assists. This suggests a significant role change or increased efficiency that the current line has not adjusted to. So Embiid is supposed to play tonight, but we shall see. Those are the 3 looks for JaXon today, man. Let's jump into it for the games that we have on the board. So the first one I wanted to go through was this Cleveland Cavalier and New York Knicks game. So this line has been out for a while, of course, but the game has kind of shifted a little bit. And I don't want to go through it too deeply because I didn't make any plays on the game, but I wanted to give you guys my thoughts on it. First off, on the Cleveland side, like the injuries got to be talked about here. DeAndre Hunter is listed as questionable. That's humongous. If you got a chance to listen to their coach Kenny Atkinson talk about like how much DeAndre Hunter has blossomed over the offseason. He said DeAndre Hunter was probably the best player in the gym, and he thinks that he has the best offseason. So we'll see if he plays. That's significant for Cleveland because they're already going to be without Garland. They're already going to be without Strus to start the season. And then most recently on the New York Knicks, injury list, Karl Anthony Towns popped up as questionable. Josh Hart is listed as out, and Mitchell Robinson also listed as out. And this line is shifted from the Knicks laying 3.5 to now the Cleveland Cavaliers laying a 1.5. on the road, and the total has come down. Open looked like it opened about 230, 228.5, and it's down to 220. 229.5. It's down to 228. So a little bit of money coming in on the under. And I guess that part makes sense, especially if Cat's not going to be out there. But it's too many variables for me to want to take this game. I feel like I watched Cleveland play. I know that their mission is to win the championship this season. Potentially being without three rotational players and Strus, Garland, and potentially Hunter. Like the Knicks potentially being without Josh Hart, Mitchell Robinson, and Cat. Like, I don't know. It seems like a little bit of a dogfight of a game. So I guess I would lean under if I had to play anything here. But it's not a game that I'm interested in playing, especially if I don't know if DeAndre Hunter's playing or not. So that's my thought process on the game. Jalen Brunson, I think, will, absolutely go crazy in this game. I don't think Cleveland has anybody that's going to be able to slow him down. He looks like he's in pretty good form already, kind of watching him in the preseason. So those are my thoughts on this Cleveland Cavaliers and Knicks game. See what you guys are thinking here. Let's see. Helping Hand says starting off strong. Sengun assists over was a straight bang. Sengun looked amazing last night, man. He looked crazy. Good last night. What's up, Anthony? Appreciate you for tapping in. Sam says great. Good morning. Great content as always. Appreciate that, Sam. Tyrone says we're about to get the court going again. Yeah, I'm gonna get back in there soon. What up, Justin? Appreciate you for tapping in. Hefe says morning, Chris. He likes Davion Mitchell 10 points. Deni Avdija over his 11.5 rebounds and assists. Okay. Town says love the Sixers, Magic, and Pelicans. We shall talk about those. What up, G421? It's top of the morning. What up? Big up, Chris. We back. How about them Rock? Yeah, they got the job done last night. They covered that spread. They didn't win the game, and Kevin Durant definitely called the timeout that they didn't grant, but is what it is. What's up, Bet at Your Own Races? What's good, Chris? What's good, everyone? Hit on a couple of parlays. Went 1-1 with my main two slips. Like it. Justin took the Cavs +2 in his pocket. Bet it yesterday afternoon. Before the news started to trickle in. I like it. Bet at Your Own Risk says I also like the Knicks to cover the -4 spread in this game. Knicks not laying 4. Knicks are getting a 1.5 now. Bet at Your Own Risk. So that line has shifted a little bit. All right, let's keep it moving. Next up, the Brooklyn Nets and the Charlotte Hornets. So we start with the injury report in this one as well. Charlotte laying 5 at the crib. This number was 4.5. It's some 5.5s out there as well. Some 4.5s. Like there's some pushback. Like I feel like it's going back and forth. You can get 4.5 if you like Charlotte. You can get 5.5 if you want to take the Brooklyn Nets. So the biggest thing for me in this game. So looking at the injury report before we get started. Looking at the injury report. Howard Haysmith is listed as out. He's the only person that's listed for Brooklyn listed as out in this game. And then on the Charlotte side of things, Jalen Green is out too, but Josh Green is out for the Hornets specifically, and Grant Williams still recovering from the surgery that he had last season. So he's not quite going to be available to play yet. Charlotte has really, really impressed me. I talked about this yesterday. Charlotte has really, really impressed me throughout the preseason. I look at the Brooklyn Nets roster. Like, yes, you have Cam Thomas, who's a bucket. You got Terrence Mann out there. I'm not sure what Terrence Mann is doing with his career at this point in the NBA. Michael Porter Jr. is there, kind of get him acclimated. And then Nick Claxton, you got all the rookies coming off the bench, even though a couple of them are hurt as well. I don't think – I think Brooklyn's going to be one of the worst teams in the NBA this season. I think Charlotte is going to take a big step in the right direction as long as they can stay healthy. I like what Charlotte did in the regular season. I like the more and more I watched them, the more and more I thought like them not having a true center would still work out well for them. Diabate is really, really good as far as like running towards the rim and, being able to get rebounds. Miles Bridges has lost a ton of weight. He looks really, really good. Looked like he's in rare form already. And I watched the post-practice interview yesterday where he was talking about, in order to play as fast as they want to and be as good as they want to on the offensive and defensive end, he's going to have to play well. So I like that. I thought that was pretty encouraging. I love the system that Charlotte plays with as well, especially if they can knock down some three-pointers. And when LaMelo Ball and Brandon Miller are on the floor, especially with Con Knaple, I think is how you pronounce his name, they desperately needed shooting because Charlotte was one of the worst three-point shooting teams in the NBA last season. I think that Charlotte wins this game. I do think that they win. I think that they get the Brooklyn Nets up out of there. I think it's going to be by 2 possessions. So I do like Charlotte minus the 4.5, minus the 5. We'll see what the line, kind of finishes at. Looks like Hard Rock has a 4.5, Circa has a 4.5, and ESPN Bet has a 4.5 right now. I like Charlotte to win this game. I think they beat Brooklyn. I don't want anything to do with the Nets, but we shall see. I also think, the other thing I was looking at with this game specifically, I spent a lot of time on this game. Brooklyn team total, right? Charlotte's going to run. They talked about it. They want to get out. They want to run. They want to shoot a bunch of threes. We know that, the coach comes over from a Boston Celtics team where they, just kind of 3-and-D type players is what he wants to do and what he wants the system to be. But what was I going with that? I was going to say, I don't know what I was going to say. I kind of lost my train of thought. Anyway, I just think that Charlotte is going to be better than Brooklyn, especially tonight. Opening night, give me the Charlotte Hornets -5, man. I like Charlotte to be able to go ahead and get the job done. I think Brooklyn going to take a step back, and I want to be on Charlotte early in the season, especially in a home game. So I like Charlotte in this game. See what you guys are thinking here. What up? Brian says, good morning, Chris. He says, our Lakers, Aiden, invisible. I talked about that, man. Disappointing, man. If that's what we're going to see from him, we're definitely he will not see February. We need to be better. Yeah, I talked about chemistry, continuity. What he finished with, like 10 points and 6 rebounds last night. And I felt like he had the mismatch. I mean, of course, Luka going to do Luka, but I felt like he would, potentially had a mismatch yesterday. And he didn't exploit anything. Better John Riss says the original line was 4 a few days ago when I was capping the game. Oh, got you. Justin says he likes LaMelo Ball double, put plus 230 in his pocket. I can see that. I like that as well. Chris says, love the Heat, the Spurs, Heat and Spurs, guys. Okay. G421 likes the Hornets on the spread. Brian says it was about over under Charlotte points. Oh, that's what yeah. All right. So that's my fault. So I woke up super early this morning. I needed a nap. So what I was saying was, I'm glad you reminded me, right? So what I was saying was, when I was looking into this game, right, I thought I know Charlotte wants to run. They want to get up and down the floor. Brooklyn's team total today is I think it was 111.5. Let me just double check real quick. It's like 110, 111. It's something that's super high in my opinion. I don't think the Nets are going to score that many points. Let's see. I know that Charlotte's not the greatest defensive team, but I do think that the Hornets offense, the Brooklyn offense is going to struggle to score. 112 is what you need Brooklyn to score. The books are anticipating the Brooklyn Nets to score 112 points tonight. I don't see it. I don't see it. Last year they scored 106. I didn't write this down, but I was looking at it. They averaged 106 on the road. As road dogs, they averaged right about 106 as well. Like, Brooklyn was one of the worst offenses in the NBA last season. I don't think that they're going. I know Charlotte's not the greatest defensive team, but I don't think that Brooklyn is going to get to 112 points. Like, not in my opinion. I think that they're going to struggle to score the basketball. So that was something else I considered as well. Appreciate you, Brian. Appreciate that for sure, because I definitely forgot my train of thought. But yeah, I like the Brooklyn team total under as well in this game. But I'll take Charlotte -5. Next game, Heat and the Magic. Little brother, big brother. Big brother has turned into little brother now. The Orlando Magic are laying 8 points at home against the Miami Heat. Miami does have a list of injuries. There's no Tyler Hero. Kasparis, I think is how you pronounce his name. I probably butchered that. But the rookie, big man, he is out with a groin injury as well. And then more importantly than anything else, Khalil Ware actually popped up on the injury report. So he was listed as probable initially, and then he's been downgraded to questionable. And I know Spoelstra is one of the best coaches in the NBA. He just got rated the best coach in the NBA again by his peers throughout the pre-NBA survey. And Spoelstra typically always got some kind of magic trick that he can pull. The Miami Heat are typically really good early in games as well. They typically just can't close. I kind of want to lay the points with the Magic. I kind of think the Magic absolutely destroyed the Miami Heat in this game. It's really, really difficult to get there. On the Magic side of things, Suggs is listed as questionable, which they viewed it as a positive. He has been able to clear everything that he's needed to get back. I don't even know if I want Suggs to play, honestly. It'll be his first game since probably about midway last season. It felt like when he got hurt. And then Mo Wagner is out as well, which I don't really think that changes too much. I just think the Magic I'm really, really high on the Magic. I think it's a reason why they're laying 8. This line is moving to 8.5 on some books as well. I think that could be because Khalil Ware has been downgraded. Khalil Ware has the potential, in my opinion, to be probably the second best player on this team. I mean, they got Norman Powell. Tyler Hero being out, I think really, really stings a lot. If you remember back to last season, I don't know if I played the Magic on opening night or not, but the Magic absolutely blew the doors off the Miami Heat. I mean, they blew them out. They beat them by like 30 in that game, if you guys can remember back. Miami hasn't shown me anything, like any kind of signs throughout the preseason. Maybe that's Spoelstra not wanting to show his hand too much, but I don't know. I'm just not that high on Wiggins this season. I love Davion Mitchell, but if Khalil Ware's not there, you got Bam trying to do, anchor all that down low by himself. Orlando wants to play fast. They want to get offensive rebounds. Miami can struggle with rebounding the basketball at times as well, especially if Khalil Ware's not there. I think they take a step back in that department. This Orlando team is going to be really, really good, especially when they're healthy. And I think that they pretty much have all their, chips in the middle. So a 10-point win this, would cover this. And I think that they can win the game by 10. I have not bet the Magic yet, but I do want to take the Magic in this game. As far as the total goes, I think Khalil Ware means a lot, but this has gone up from 213 to 216.5, and that's because Orlando talks about wanting to run. They want to increase the pace so much this season. Coach Jamal Mosley been talking about that. I think that they do. I think that they will play faster. Miami will try to slow the game down. Typically, they do a really good job of that, but with no Tyler Hero, potentially no Khalil Ware, I don't even know if I could take over. I think Orlando's defense is really that good. Miami's team total is like 104.5. They could struggle to get to 105 points if Orlando comes out and plays the defense that they did last season, specifically at the crib. This Magic team was really, really good, even with all the injuries last season. Just look at it real quick. The Magic at home last season were they allowed an average of 103 points per game. And they were 27 and 17 to the under. So that's 62% of their games went under when they were playing at home. And if it was a divisional game, not that all this matters, but if it was a divisional game, they went 7-2 straight up, 7-2 against the spread, won by an average of 13.5 points per game, and were 7-2 to the under. Those games averaged about 209 points. About 209 points last season, but they gave up 97 in those games. So I consider Miami team total under as well. Under 104.5 was the number that I was looking at. Not really wanting to get too much into player props, but those are my thoughts on this game here. How we doing with time? It's 8:01. All right, let's go. Let's see what else you guys are thinking. Brian says, Brian says Magic first quarter at the crib. I wonder what that first quarter number is. Probably like 3.5 is what I would guess. 2.5, 3.5. What's up, Eugene? Boogie says, up serving us dinner at breakfast. Let's go. Good morning. Yeah, I'm trying to do my best. Boogie. What up, Prolific? Just back to the grind. Love it. I was just thinking about this. Like, the NBA consumes so much of my life. Like, I'm always thinking, like, I'm always trying to look ahead. It really does consume a lot of my life. It's an actual grind. This is an actual grind. It's so many games every single day, so many moving parts all the time. Injuries, all that good stuff. G421 likes the Magic as well, -8. Tyler says, hey, good morning, my guy. Missed yesterday's stream. Aiden is not the guy. He's exactly who I thought he was. Our Lakers going to be in the dorm in the damn play-in again. Magic to the finals. I think it's a little early, but I do think Golden State is really good, man. I think that they'll be really good this season. Bane assist points. I want to see what he looks like in this offense, man. I think he's definitely going to help the offense, though. They need three-point shooting, and they got a couple guys. Even Franz, I think, is going to take a leap with his three-point shooting this season as well. Buffalo says, took Miami Heat team total under, so we're thinking the same. Eugene says, anybody else do the DraftKings King of the Court and choose Luka for a $36 win? I like it. Justin says he'll go opposite. He likes the Magic to get the 113. He says, Chris, I told you yesterday I'm betting Aiden every day until he embarrasses me or the books catch up. I'm off him. He embarrassed me yesterday. My bad. He embarrassed me yesterday. Bad. Yeah. I told you I didn't really like what I was seeing in the preseason, Justin. But I think the Warriors, that's where you kind of want to exploit the Warriors, is down low. That's what Houston was able to do last season, which helped them a lot in the playoffs, because it definitely won't Jalen Green. Brian says, I'm so glad the W is over. It kicked my ass, and these women couldn't play consistent. Let's go NBA. I need it. Henry says I had SG under his points and the total under, and they both look good until overtime happened. All right, let's keep moving. A couple more I want to go through real quick. The 76ers and the Boston Celtics. Boston is laying 2. Updated line is 2. Yeah, open 2.5. It's still some 2.5s out there. I do see it all the way down to -1.5. -120, a little juice on ESPN Bet. Total looks like it is going north. Up 224.5 is what it opened at. Looks like it's up to 228, 227.5 out there as well. I do like this game up and over, man. I think Boston's going to take a step back defensively this season without having Al Horford, without having Porzingis, without having Jrue Holiday. But I do think Boston's going to win this game. Like, I kind of want to bet Boston as well. So we go through the injury report. And the reason why I haven't pulled the trigger on Boston is because Jaylen Brown's listed as questionable. He says, I felt like I saw a quote that said he was okay. Let me just double check real quick because I had looked into this earlier. Yeah, never mind. I couldn't find anything. I had done some searches earlier though, just to see if I could find a little bit more information on Jaylen Brown because he is listed as questionable for this game, and I think that's significant. Jaylen Brown, of course, means a lot. There's already no Tatum, but Boston will have everybody else. So you got Anthony Simons out there. The 76ers will be without Paul George. No Jared McCain. He's out as well. Trent Wofford is also out, but they still got Quentin Grimes, and B's supposed to play. Tyrese Maxey, of course, is going to be out there as well. So the Sixers, Kelly Oubre is still out there. They got, I think, a little bit, maybe even a little bit more depth than this Boston Celtics team. I kind of feel like, and I was listening to Jaylen Brown quotes, like this Boston team is not like living under the expectation of other people, right? Matter of fact, like it was actually 2 weeks ago to this day, Jaylen Brown actually came out at training camp and said that they're going to play super fast. He says, I don't even think I play for a basketball team. I think I play for a track team. And he says he's excited about the group. This group might catch y'all off guard. And I kind of feel like Boston at the crib, only laying a point and a half, 2 points. You could actually take the money line and feel comfortable in this game. I think that Philly is going to take a while. We haven't seen Philly with all his pieces together in quite a while. Like I feel like Embiid would kind of wear down throughout this game. You got what's the big guy name for Boston? The center. I can't think of his name. Starts with a Q. But I think Boston has enough to win this game. I think offensively they'll look pretty good. Like Derek White's still there, be able to knock down some threes. Peyton Pritchard's still there as well. Anthony Simons supposed to be working on this defense as well. I think the Celtics can win this game. I do think they can sneak out a win, man. Especially at home crowd. Expectations are kind of down for them this season, but I don't think that they're listening to other people's expectation. I think Boston will be a little bit better than they were last season as long as they can stay healthy, but I don't think it's going to be at the start of the season. That's just my thought process. Of course, we don't have, a lot of data to go off of, but that's my kind of thought process on this game. I kind of want to take Boston in this game and lay the 2 or just take them on the money line here. Let's see. Brian says, are we going Celtics first half again? I kind of need to see a little bit of a sample size, Brian, before I just, go all out there. I think that they'll be able to knock down some threes. We'll see how good the Sixers can be defensively. Quentin Grimes being out there doesn't really give me a lot of confidence defensively. I think Maxey's not the greatest defender either. I think Boston's going to be able to score. I agree with the total going up as well, even though the 76ers have been one of the worst offensive teams in the preseason. I think they were like bottom 4, bottom 5. Take that with a grain of salt. Justin says 76ers plus 2.5, my favorite side of the day. So he thinks Philly wins. We will be on the opposite side here. Shout out says, hey, Chris, what do you think about Embiid's minutes? I mean, who knows, man? We'll see what Nick Nurse does. I have no idea what to do with Joel Embiid minutes. Like, you asking the wrong person, man. We shall see. We shall see. Tyrese Maxey threes, I think is what Brian's saying. He is supposed to play, though. Embiid is supposed to play. If he plays, I would assume he's going to be on a minutes restriction, but we shall see. And the other thing is this, I do think the 76ers have a lot to prove as well. I do think that they have a lot to prove. We'll just see if they're able to get it done. What's up, dude? Appreciate you for tapping in. Derek White threes. Anthony says, good morning, Chris. Thanks for the free info. No, absolutely. Appreciate you for tapping in, man. Y'all hit the like button for me if y'all can. Let's get through a couple more of these games real quick before I got to jump off of here. G421 says, how long we getting Embiid with that knee before Christmas. He should just take time off and heal. I think he is pretty healed. We shall see, though. We shall see. What up, Doms? Appreciate you for tapping in as well, as always. Let's see. All right, so how many games is that so far? We've been through 1, 2, 3, 4. We've been through 4. All right, let's go through one more. I'm not going, like I said, I'm not going through all of them. If you joined late, I went through like a lot of the Eastern Conference games already. I do want to touch on this Raptors and Hawks game because I got a very controversial, probably highly controversial look that I think will cash in this game. And then I want to talk some of the late games I don't really care as much about. I'll be watching them, but we'll talk about them too. But we'll go pretty quickly through those. All right, so Raptors and Hawks game be played in Atlanta, of course. The Raptors are getting 5.5 points, 6 points, depending on where you're shopping. Yes, some 6. They open 6. Now it's down to 5.5. Total 235.5, up to 236.5 on FanDuel, and Superbook as well. So the books are expecting points, right? Toronto is a team that, in my opinion, is going to be a little slept on at the beginning of the season. I want to see them play, like with everybody being out there. I do think that they have a lot of talent on this roster. When you think about Quickly and RJ Barrett and Brandon Ingram, Scotty Barnes and Jakob Poeltl, to me, that's a solid team. I think they could potentially make the play-in if everybody can stay healthy on the team. Now, Atlanta is projected to be one of the best teams in the Eastern Conference, of course, right? But you need Porzingis to stay healthy. You need Jalen Johnson to stay healthy as well, which I love Jalen Johnson. He was having a breakout season before he got hurt last season. We'll see if Zachary Ricochet is able to take that leap. Dyson Daniels just got paid. Absolute, probably, top 5 defensive guard in the NBA. And then Trae Young assist just continues to go up every single season. And you only expect that to continue to happen, right? You got Onyeka Okongwu coming off the bench. I feel like Toronto is going to be a little bit better defensive team than the books are giving them credit for in this game. Now, Jacoby Waters is out. The rookie Colin Murray Bowles is also out for Toronto. And Atlanta is completely healthy. Their team total, though, the Atlanta team total is 121.5. You can get a 121.5 if you like the under. I kind of think Atlanta. I kind of think Orlando won't get to that many points. I think Atlanta will probably, they can win this game 117 to like 113, 112 or something like that. But they're projected to play super fast. Last year they were fast as well. I forgot what their pace was, but it was top. I think they ranked 4th in the league last season. Toronto was 21st in pace last season. If they can successfully slow this game down, I think that they are a really good rebounding team with Scotty Barnes, and Brandon Ingram's a pretty good rebounder. Even RJ Barrett is a pretty good rebounder. And we know Jakob Poeltl is probably a top 15 rebounder in the NBA. I think Toronto will try to slow this game down. Defensively last season, they were one of the best defensive teams after the All-Star break as well. I think the Atlanta team total is a little too high at 121. I want to take Atlanta team total under 121 in this game, thinking that they'll win. Yeah, I do think that they can win. But I think that they'll struggle to score the basketball, and Toronto will probably try to slow this game down, knowing that Atlanta will want to run in this game. So that's my thought process. Again, we don't have a lot of data to go off of, but 122 points, you kind of need everything to go right. I know it's today's NBA. We're expecting, a lot of pace. Toronto's not that fast-paced of a team, though, and I think they'll try to slow it down a little bit. So my thought process would be Atlanta team total under 121 in this game. Let's see. Doms kind of agrees. It's like the under in Hawks and Raptors. Daryl on the opposite side of me says Brooklyn money line, Chris. I'm not looking for Brooklyn money line. Who's stopping the beat on the Celtics? And B can stop himself, Hendry, but we shall see, man. 6 points to him. Justin says, don't fade my Hawks, but I ain't betting on them today. Yeah, I thought a lot of people would find that interesting, man. I just think that number's a little bit inflated, in my opinion, G421. Like, yes, the books are we are anticipating Atlanta to be better this season, but do we want to just go ahead and fire immediately, or do we want to see some continuity and some chemistry beforehand? Trae Young's one of the best passers in the NBA, if not the best passer in the NBA. Porzingis is great. Jalen Johnson is great. Dyson Daniels can play defense. Zachary Ricochet should take a step in his second year as well. But 122 points is a lot, man, especially when I'm expecting the pace to be slow. So that's my thought process. All right, let's go through the other games real quick. Let's fire through the other games. So the ones I didn't talk about, Detroit, Chicago. I wanted to play over. Let's see real quick. Karis LeVert is probable. Jaden Ivey is out. Zach Collins is out, and Kobe White is out. Detroit is good, man. Detroit is really good. Chicago will be a sleeper pick for me this season a lot, though. I will be taking Chicago plus the points. I don't want them as a favorite, and I will be playing a lot of overs. So I didn't play the game, but if I'm playing Detroit and Chicago, I'm probably just going over. I think it'll be a fast-paced game. I think Cade Cunningham will probably be able to get whatever it is that he wants. Chicago is going to play up and down all season, but you'll have to outscore Chicago, and I think Detroit will be able to outscore them in this game. Detroit comes in pretty healthy, so that's my thought process there. It's a super high total for the open tonight, but I think if I'm playing, I'm going over 130, 234.5. You can get a 233 on Circa. I think I like that. New Orleans and Memphis, probably the hardest game for me to handicap. New Orleans will be without Looney, of course. DeJounte Murray's out, and then a plethora of injuries for the Pelicans, for the Grizzlies as well. There's no Brandon Clark, no Zach Edey, no Ty Jerome, no Scottie Pippen Jr., no Vince Williams Jr. either, but Ja Morant is supposed to play. I don't really want to lay a lot of points with Memphis this season. The Pelicans I do project to suck, but I don't want to lay a lot of points with Memphis this season. I feel like they've struggled to take care of the basketball. Maybe it won't matter because the Pelicans defense is not that great, and they're probably not going to force that many turnovers. But if I'm playing this game, super high total, open 234.5 up to 239. The Pelicans front line is terrible. I think Ja will be able to dunk on anybody for the Pelicans that he wants to. Misi is too small. I kind of want to play Trey Murphy. I talked about liking Trey Murphy a lot. His points prop is listed at 19.5. I think Trey Murphy's in a really good spot today. The way I kind of see it is that, there's one good defender, in my opinion, that's Jalen Wells for the Memphis Grizzlies as far as perimeter defenders. And I think he'll probably end up guarding Jordan Poole. So I think that Trey Murphy is projected to do really, really well in this game. You got Zion versus Jared Jackson Jr. down there as well. So I like Trey Murphy points. I think he can get to 20 in this game. Super high pace, fast paced game. Highest total, I think, on the board for today. So that's my thoughts on that game. Milwaukee and Washington, not a game that I look too much into as well. I do see that the Bucks are laying 10 now. Wizards are projected to suck this season. Bilal Koulibaly is out. He's going to miss the starter. Milwaukee is fully healthy. I'm just not laying double digits with Milwaukee at the beginning of the season. I kind of want to see what happens with them. The Wizards are probably going to be catching 10 points pretty much to everybody, honestly. We shall see. But not a game that I even have that much interest in. I won't watch too much of that game. The Clippers and the Jazz is interesting just because the Clippers are the oldest team or the second oldest team in the NBA and laying 10 points now, pretty much 10 and a half. I think they're the right side. I think they win the game by double digits. This is a super, veteran-led team. Ace Bailey, supposed to be one of the standout players for the Jazz this season. He is listed as out. I'm sorry, listed as questionable. He's not out. He's questionable for this game. Isaiah Collier is out, and Gorgeous Niang is already out as well. I think the Clippers will be able to score the basketball with ease. The Jazz were one of the worst defensive teams last season. There's not a lot of defense on this team outside of Walker Kessler, in my opinion, this season. Team total for the Clippers is listed at, let's see. Clippers team total 118.5. They should be able to get to 120. I do think the Clippers should be able to score. We'll see if the Jazz push pace or not. Clippers got a bunch of players to come off the bench. I looked at James Harden assists 8.5. It was already juiced, so I got to that a little too late. I think it was like minus 130. He should be able to get a double-double in this game. I feel like he typically plays pretty well against the Clippers. I know that the game is in Utah, but I think Utah is just they'll have another season where they'll be completely trash. What else we got? San Antonio, Dallas, down to 2.5, 3. That's an interesting game as well because De'Aaron Fox is out, Kelly Olynyk is out, Jeremy Sohan is out, Lindy Waters is out, and then on the Dallas side, no Gafford, no Exum, no Kyrie, of course. Dallas is going to be experimenting a little bit with Cooper Flag, trying to figure out where to play him at. D'Angelo Russell minutes will be kind of up in the air and all over the place. Man, it's a tough one. It's really, really tough. I think the more I look into the game, I kind of like it under. I know the Spurs talked about playing defense. Dallas talked about being one of the better defensive teams in the NBA as well. Wemby down there, AD down there. Like it's a lot of rim protection out there. You still got Lively out there as well. No De'Aaron Fox. I think that slows the offense down a little bit for San Antonio. Not that they won't be able to score, but I kind of like under with the total. It's probably about right where it should be. So I'm gonna stay off of that game as well. Sacramento Phoenix, that's gonna be a gross game. No Kyler Murray, no Sabonis. They're both out. So you're like, man, take Phoenix. But then you look at Phoenix, and Phoenix not a team I'm gonna lay too many points with this season. They got one of the lowest projected win totals this season. But then Jalen Green is out. Like, wow, I'm laying points with Devin Booker and Dylan Brooks. Not for my money, man. I can't do it. Sacramento talked about, being highly just disrespected. They feel like they should be getting a little bit more love based on some of these preseason rankings. And I heard DeMar DeRozan talk about it, but I guess if I had to take, I'd take the points for Sacramento. I guess I would, but I think that game will be high scoring. I think it'll be pretty high scoring, especially I don't see a lot of defense on the floor at all. Outside of, I guess, Mark Williams is not even that great of a defender in my opinion either, but I think I would play over if I was playing that game. I'm just not too strong on it. And then last game is the Minnesota Timberwolves and the Minnesota Timberwolves and the Portland Trail Blazers. That line opened at 3 in favor of Minnesota. It's up to 4 now, but Anthony Edwards is listed as questionable with back spasms. But it's interesting because every time I look into Anthony Edwards or the Minnesota Timberwolves, I'm checking the beat writer list. All I see is Anthony Edwards at the game after the practice, just getting up more shots over and over again. He's just taking more shots, shooting more shots. Always the last person in the gym. So I'm like, when all of a sudden did he start having back spasms? But he is listed as questionable on the Portland side of things. There's no Scoot Henderson. Damian Lillard, of course, will miss the full season. No Robert Williams as well. Portland, I think, will be sneaky at the crib, getting a few points, but we'll see what Jrue Holiday can add to this team. We'll see what the rotation is like for Chauncey Billups. Minnesota, I think, will be eager to start the season off in the right direction. If Anthony Edwards is ruled in, this line is going to go from 4, which is consensus right now, probably to 5, 5.5. Some of that is kind of already baked in. The total is going up from 218.5 to 220 as well, but we shall see, man. I'm not making a lot of bets to start the season. If I do, it'll probably be something live. So those are my thoughts, man. I got to get ready to get out of here. I appreciate you guys for tapping in. The recap of what I talked about that I liked: Charlotte minus the 5, Boston minus the 2.5. I think the Pelicans and Memphis goes up and over the total. I also like Trey Murphy over his points in that game at 19.5. James Harden over his 8.5 assists. And the Clippers should be able to get to 120 against the Jazz, in my opinion, today. Jazz defensively are absolutely trash. Matter of fact, let me check something real quick. I want to give you guys some preseason advanced numbers. Not that the preseason means everything. Yeah, Jazz had the worst defensive rating in the NBA in the preseason. 123.4. Memphis was number 2. So, yeah, these are not good defensive teams. I think the Clippers should be able to get to whatever it is that they want. Offense should be fluid. And I think the John Collins look that JaXon likes also is a good look as well. So that's what I'm liking for today, man. Whatever it is you guys are betting, best of luck. Resources are all linked in the description below. Check them out. Hit those links. Link in the description for Novig as well. If you guys are interested in joining Novig, use that link in the description. Hit the like button for me on the way out. Subscribe to the channel. Turn the notification bell on, man. Best of luck on all your action. See you guys tomorrow. Only 2 games tomorrow, but I'll see you guys tomorrow, man. I'm out.